Because you asked, I'm going to give you a brief demonstration of Sun Salute A. This is done in virtually every yoga class at some point. It is also typically referred to as a vinyasa, although vinyasa means more than just this, but this is frequently used in between other asanas to reset the body. It brings a basic stretch and a basic flex into most of the major muscle groups, and it's really useful. It's particularly good for strengthening the shoulder girdle, as there is a focus on bearing weight correctly through the hands and arms. And inhale, hands up high. Exhale, hands to the ground. Now, some people have difficulty getting to the ground. If that's the case for you, then feel free to bend your knees. What you really want is you want to get a good contact with the ground, at least your fingertips, preferably your whole hands, because we're going to spend a lot of time on the hands, and this gives us a chance to get the hands situated correctly. Then from here, it's inhale, extend through the spine. This will be with straightened legs. Exhale, back down to the ground. Now for the hands, you want the wrist angle, the wrist crease to be in line with the front of the mat. You want to get the weight evenly distributed between your index finger mound, your pinky finger mound, and the heel of your hand. From here, then you step back. Till your shoulders are over your wrists. Your hips are at the same level as your shoulders. And we call this plank. This is what would frequently be called a high plank, mostly because you will see that my pelvis is not in line with my ankles. It is level with my shoulders. This is because we're focusing on strengthening the shoulders with this variation. So then from here, you press through your toes, sliding forward over your wrists, bending at the elbows until your shoulders come to a level that is even with your elbows. You do not keep everything even across the back. Do not dive into your shoulders. Untuck the toes, come all the way down to the ground. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back. Press up just about until your pelvis starts to rise up off the ground. And lift your pelvis up, back, tuck your toes, coming to downward dog. From here, you get to take a breath. Then we start walking in. We do this by coming to tippy toes, taking a step forward with the left foot, coming to the left foot tippy toes, taking a step forward with the right foot, placing it flat on the ground, coming to the right tippy toes, placing the left foot flat on the ground. And you will notice as you come forward that more weight comes into your hands, arms, and shoulders. That's the point. Tippy toes, left foot, flat for the right foot, then come even. Now, if you don't have the length in the hamstrings, at some point this will be really difficult, at which time it's perfectly all right to take a bend into the knees. The point, though, is that we want to get some weight into the shoulders and the hands at each step. Through here, we inhale, extending through the spine again. Hands come to the hips, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then we come all the way up to standing. Inhale, hands all the way up high. Hopefully you don't have a chandelier over your head to bang into. And then hands back down to the side. That's the basic motions. Now, in yoga, we particularly like to coordinate everything with the breath. It helps make everything a little more integrated, focuses the attention on the sensations that are happening in the body, which gives us more information about how we're actually holding the body. So usually this particular flow is done with one breath per motion, and it comes out something like this. Inhale, arms high overhead. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, extend through the spine. Exhale, step back. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, lower down. Untuck the toes. Down to the floor. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Rise up. Exhale, your pelvis. Press back. Inhale, rest. Exhale. Inhale, come to tippy toes. Exhale, step. Inhale, tiptoes left foot. Step. Inhale, step. Inhale, step. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Rise up. Exhale, hands to your side. And that would be a slightly modified sun salute A. All the stepping we did from the back, that is not normally done in multiple steps. It's usually done in one. But again, I'm doing this to focus a little bit more on the shoulder girdle, and the transfer of the weight brings your mind to what's going on there. And of course, developing strength. Now, I like to do it with 2 breaths because going a little bit slower means you have to put a little more energy into it, develops a little more strength, develops a little more sensitivity. It does require a little more awareness. With 2 breaths, basically you initiate each motion with the inhale, you complete it with the exhale. Usually, like almost all the time, the inhale is an expansion motion, so it's inhale to here, and then exhale as the arms close. Okay, and I'll go through the whole thing with a 2 breath count. So going with 2 breaths would be inhale, exhale, 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 exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, lay down. So there you have it. A sun salute A, slightly modified to bring a little extra focus into the shoulders. A real easy practice to start developing strength that you can just bang in first thing when you get up in the morning. Maybe sounds horrifying to think of that, but it's actually really nice because it gets the heart beating, gets you warm, gets the stiffness of lying in bed all night right out of the body. Starts waking up the mind. It's actually a really great time for this. Do it 5 times each day in the morning, and you will quite quickly develop a lot of additional strength in the shoulder. a lot of additional stability. It's like any physical practice. A little bit every day is way better than a lot every now and then. So there you have it. As I said, Sun Salute A, develop a little bit of strength in the shoulder, bit of flexibility. Hopefully it works for you.